The curtains are swiftly drawn, blocking away the brightness and instilling a sense of dread. The room is dimly and chilly. Objects of incense conceal away from the naked eye, a small glimpse of light peering inside, as if it were curious to know. You keep a steady gaze on the wooden floorboards, counting away the time, and your impatience, a faint odor of lavender, unfilled, unfilled with something sweeter. It almost reminds you of vanilla ice cream. Coyly and savory, but sour after the sugary flavor. It all but exhausted. I promise I'm not doing this with anything bad in mind. That sentence you've heard a handful of times is ingeniously iterant. You might have as well been fooled yourself into believing you were the bad cause. Not him, never him. It must have been you who pushed him off the edge, caused him to grasp onto something out of sheer desperation. You remained seated, briefly glancing over to the entrance, and it reminds you just how many times you've tried breaking out. I'm doing this to protect both of us, he reassures, hesitantly approaching you. He appeared nervous, anxious, but it was repressed so deep in you might have imagined it. Noticed in just in time to see an interrupt into the thin air. He's oddly frigid when you heed the sharp pair of scissors. Oh my God! Placed on the desk, beckoning your awareness. Fortunately, if he noticed it, he did not give an inch of his attention. Eyes solely focused on you and only you. I get it. You don't want to be here. I'm not the best person to be around with, but I'm sure we can adjust, he said, lips forming into a thin grin, his gaze on you but distracted, paranoid about his own thoughts. You get it, don't you? He added, slowly lowering himself to you. Tensionally meeting your eyes, however, recoilates to your touch. Clenched fingers. He knows it as much as you do, but for the sake of his sanity, he just has to look past it for the better, for the both of them. With a trembled hand, he reaches out to caress your cheeks, barely brushing his knuckles across your skin before his cold. Oh my God, I forgot to say this word. It's spelled Diglets, but I don't think it's meant to be spelled that. Sorry. Drifts away the moment he sees a hint of unrest. He breathes out a sigh, hoping to blink away the slight of the uneasiness. You know, I truly believe that I don't deserve you. It's like you brighten up my entire world whenever I see you. It makes me happy. Glad. He hesitates, but continues. I don't want to let you go. Leave me when I just found you, he softly mutters, lowering load gaze, meekly staring at your lap, gently resting his head on it after second thoughts. He tense muscles loosen, silence slowly consuming the room. I'm aware of what I'm doing. It's wrong, I know, but if I don't, then you'll leave. I don't want that to happen, he muttered. I want you to stay with me. Be with me till our last breath. You're silently soaked in his voice, your mind simply going quiet after understanding his motives, unable to come up with a conquered message. He intensely did not seem ill, sadly, poorly exhausted most of the time, ill-clenched, surely. Not even a hero could get away with it, right? In Tamaki's case, a hero in training, heroes are supposed to be just good-natured. Certainly, Someone will look for you. They'll come for you, right? He sits up, staring into your eyes, his own brimmed with misery. Restless, he begins. You'll stay with me, won't you? I really don't want you to go. His eyes well up with tears dripping down and damping his cheeks. You almost couldn't look at him. Guilt heightening wavily on your shoulders, even though it is him who should regret doing this. At this point, you can feel the call of sympathy tugging at your heartstrings, a cry for acceptance, a cry for your own imprisonment. It's hard to open your lips to make a point of your situation. However, it's touch to utter anything without your silence coming in the way. You fear it might come across flatten, incorrect, inexact, and undeterrently violated his wrongdoing. It's sudden when Tamaki embraces you, shielding his face in the crook of your neck, his arms tightly circling around you, rendering you immobile. Please, don't go.